Okay, okay. All right. And we are now recording. Hey, everybody, and welcome to ACT Science. Woo, science. Ain't no party like a science party because a science party don't stop until you reach question 40. So, ACT Science. Let's start by first getting to know each other. So, Heller, have people just been going around in a circle and just saying these things? Or do we have a form they fill out?
I said people's name. I just said like Mackenzie, you're up. So, and I did my example first. So maybe do yours and then say who.
Okay. Well, my name is Adrienne Weller. Most people just call me Weller. Some people who are feeling very formal call me Miss Weller. I attend Jemison High School at the grade level of teacher. And my favorite subject in school was actually photography, but I decided to teach social studies because I get to tell all those weird random stories from history that nobody ever knows about and you never forget, even though they're never on a test. And then 3 songs on my quarantine playlist. Y'all, I've been going back to what I listened to in high school. So we've been listening to a little bit of Rancid, Ruby Soho to be specific, the whole entire Very Proud of Ya album by AFI, and that's been about it. So, let's see. Heller, would you like to go next?
Okay. So I'm Miss Heller. I don't attend any. I attend all schools and no schools. My favorite subject in school was English, obviously, maybe for those who know me. 3 songs. So these aren't songs, but I've listened to like the whole Hamilton soundtrack multiple times by now. This band I really like, Car Seat Headrest, put out 2 new tracks. So I've listened to that, and otherwise podcasts and books. So boring. How about I nominate, like, let's do like, I'll pick the next person.
Sounds great.
All right, so Sydney, you're up.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I just unmuted you.
So my name's Sydney, and I go to New Century. I'm in 10th grade. My favorite subject is probably English as well. I kind of like math, but not really. And 3 songs. I don't really have any specific ones. I've just been going between new albums and stuff, so yeah.
All right, good stuff. Sydney, can you see who all is participating?
Yes.
All right, how about you pick the next person?
Okay. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm so sorry. Is it Acacia M? Last name M?
Oh, she's talking about Akasha.
It's Akasha.
Akasha? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I'm Akasha. I attend Grissom High School. I'm a junior. My favorite subject, none of them. 3 favorite songs that's been on my quarantine playlist. I don't have a favorite because I listen to a lot. I guess I'll pick Jakisha.
All right.
I'm Jakisha. I go to Grissom High School. I'm in 11th grade. My favorite subject, I like all of them, but probably environmental science. That's probably like one of my most challenging ones, but like I still understand it and I like enjoy it. It's pretty nice learn about the earth and different things like that. My favorite song right now is probably it's by The Weeknd. I'm gonna pick one from his new album. So I'm gonna go with Scared to Live by The Weeknd.
Yes.
That one. Yes, like his new album.
I love The Weeknd.
It's something different. So yeah. Let me pick someone else to go.
Yeah, go for it, Jakisha.
Okay. Natalie, have you gone yet?
But no, I haven't.
Okay, I'll pick Natalie.
Okay.
Natalia, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
Natalia.
go
Okay, I'm
to-
sorry.
It's okay. I go to Columbia High School. I'm a junior. My favorite subject, I like my forensic science class. And then I listen to a lot of different songs. I don't really know.
If you had to pick 3 that you've been listening to over and over and over again, what 3 would you pick?
Probably Pink and White by Frank Ocean. Probably the top one right now. And then just Lil Uzi, I guess.
Cool. Thank you. And then, Natalia, do you want to pick the last person to go?
Sure. Who all did did everyone go already?
I think Mackenzie still needs to go.
Oh, well, Mackenzie, you can go now.
My name is Mackenzie. I attend Jemison High School. I'm in the 11th grade. My favorite subject would be like math and science, but I do like my biomed class a lot. And I really haven't been listening to a lot of music. I've been listening to a lot of like albums, like Lil Uzi or Rod Wave, or like just some old songs. I'm really getting into YouTube now, like watching videos. So I don't have any specific songs.
All right. Cool, cool, cool. And I thought I had someone that just joined us, but I don't see them. So we're going to go ahead.
Weller,
And-
do you know who it was, Weller, so I can try to find them?
It was someone whose name began with an A. It was like, oh, there it is. It's Amaya.
Okay, yeah, I
Hi.
thought
All right. Hey, Amaya, we're just doing this quick introduction. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, talk about what school you're at, favorite subject, and any songs that are on your quarantine playlist?
Hi, my name is Maya. I go to New Century. I'm a junior. My favorite subject is English, and 3 songs on my quarantine playlist would be Wallflower by 5 Seconds of Summer, Peso by Doja Cat, and I think that's it. Hello?
we hear you. Great job.
Okay, yeah, I think that's it.
All right, cool. Thank you. So, welcome to ACT Science. First of all, can I just compliment all of you that you are amazing for wanting to, when we are on this craziness, still invest in your ACT. So, snaps. That's huge. So, today, as you can tell by what I told you, I don't teach science, but that's okay because ACT Science doesn't have a lot to do with science. Before we do that, though, we've got a couple of colleges that we want to point out to you. First one is Bowdoin College. Bowdoin College, boop, boop, boop. You need about a 3.9 GPA to get in, but CAP&GOWN kind of loves them because they meet 100% of students' demonstrated need, and they are test optional. So let's say that you put all this work into your ACT, but you still don't manage to do well. It's okay. Bowdoin is going to find a different way to evaluate you. However, I want to warn you, it's in Brunswick, Maryland. So that is 19 to 20 hours away. So you will want to make sure that you are able to fly. All right. It's a
Emmy
great
is
choice,
it's actually supposed to be Maine. I think I messed up the thing.
or I might have messed up in my brain place. I do that sometimes. It's cool. All right, so Brunswick, Maine, even farther away than Maryland. And then it is a great choice for a top student who you might have the grades, you might have the activities, but you just can't nail down that standardized test, and you want to get out of Hunts Vegas. So if you want to go far away, this might be the college for you. And look, it snows. Snow way. Yes, way. Sorry. As you all get to know me, you will realize that my puns are very, very bad, and we are all very, very okay with it. At least I am. All right. So STEM Summer Institute is coming up. We don't know if it's going to be in person or if it's going to be conducted virtually. However it happens, it will happen. So all of you are showing a great interest in this. So what I need from you all to do is apply. You can click this link right here and it will take you straight to the application. One of my students was having a little bit of trouble getting her ACT score because the schools aren't accepting mail right now. It's okay if you submit it without an ACT score, but we don't know you're interested unless you apply. Also, if you have little brothers or sisters that are going to be coming into high school, this is open for the first time ever to rising ninth graders. So if they're in 8th grade now and they're coming into 9th grade, get them involved. It's never too early. Ms. Heller, did you have anything you'd like to add to that?
Oh no, I just wanted to flag that they actually can't click on your screen, but I posted the application in the chat now.
Hot dog. Thank you. This is why Ms. Heller is here. She is the bee's knees. All right. So announcements as far as meal distribution. If you need a copy of the practice ACT we're going to be using in these things, go ahead and you can email Ms. Heller with your request. And this is her email right here, emily@capandgownproject.org. Let's see, I need to go ahead and I'm going to share that with you right now. Hey, Emily, this is the one thing I don't know how to do is to share a file.
The PDF?
Yeah.
Okay, let me work on that. You can continue. Actually, really all these announcements, just so you guys know, the meal times I just realized were from last week, so I'm going to find more information for you on that. And with the physical ACT, I'll probably need Weller's help with that because actually I have had to go back to Pennsylvania for the moment. So we'll figure it out though, I think. I will grab that link for you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Heller. I really appreciate you. All right. So while we get that ACT up, let's talk science. All right. So ACT science, it's really, really not testing a lot of science. They call it science reasoning. And the reason they call it science reasoning is they can't technically test you on science because every single state has a different standard on where you should be in science. Some states you're required to take environmental science, others you're not. So it would be really, really hard for ACT to test your actual science skills. So what they do instead is they use a theme of science. And instead, it's logic and reasoning. How well can you read charts, graphs, and experiment data, and people's opinions and whatnot? All right? So it may have these themes of biology, chemistry, earth and space science, and physics, but you're not going to actually have to know a whole lot about that. There's 3 different parts. The first is data representation, which is interpreting graphs and tables and pictures. And you tend to have 2 to 3 of these on an exam with 5 to 6 questions each. Then there are research summaries. There tend to be 2 to 3 with about 6 to 7 questions. And in these, you basically look at an experiment and you interpret the data from the experiment. And then finally, conflicting viewpoints. There's usually only one of these, and it presents a couple of different hypotheses and has you compare not only the hypotheses, but the support for them. So we're not going to go into each of these tonight. Instead, we're going to focus primarily on the data representation. But first, science is all about time management. You want to spend about 5 minutes per section. You don't want to go any longer than 5 minutes. Data representation, which is what we're covering tonight, tends to take fewer minutes per second or per section, approximately 4. The others tend to take a little bit longer. All right, so with talking data representation today, you're looking at charts, pictures, and graphs showing information. And the big idea behind all of this is you want to look at relationships. Data representation, it's going to show relationships between different variables. So the good news is you don't need to know much science. You might need to know some very basic science information, but it's stuff that's pretty much common knowledge. The better news, though, is that all of the answers are in there. You just have to know how to find them. So So a few sciencey things you will want to know how to compare data. This should be a review for you, but I'm going to leave the screen up for just a second if you want to write this down. So first thing is, go back. First thing is your independent variable, all right? This is the thing that deliberately changes. So a lot of times it's time. You look at the change over an hour, over 2 hours, etc. The dependent variable is the thing that changes because of the independent variable. Then you have a couple of different types of relationships. So the relationship comes from measuring the independent variable with the dependent variable. So first one is a direct relationship. As one variable increases, so does the other. Indirect relationship, as one variable increases, the other decreases. So a direct relationship actually usually looks like an upward sloping line. So it's a line that essentially goes like that. Get back there. All right. Indirect relationship, the line tends to go down. It has a downward slope. And then finally, there's no relationship. So if it has no relationship, it's either going to be a straight up and down line, or it's going to be a horizontal line. It's not going to have a slope to it. Any questions so far on that?
No.
Cool. All right. So again, pretty basic, easy stuff. So how to conquer this section. First things first, I know you guys just did reading last week, and reading is like, oh, I have to get all the information. No, this science, don't read. What you want to do instead is you want to skim. So what you want to look at is you want to look at what is being measured, all right? You want to look at what changes, what stays the same. If we're on graphs, for example, you want to look at this key right here to know what each of these different lines mean. So the triangle line, for example, is 5% SY medium plus live yeast. Okay, so what that tells me is we're probably going to have live yeast that we're talking about. Additional odors from the live yeast, okay? I'll want to know that too. Sorry, I'm very bad at underlining. Also, look at your X and Y axes, percent alive, days, and then finally, you'll want to know what figure or table this is referring to. Your skim should not take you more than 1 minute. If you're spending more than a minute on a skim, you are spending way too long. All right. Next, you want to underline important information in the questions. So in a lot of these questions, it's going to tell you to look at a certain figure, look at a certain table. You are going to waste so much time if you are looking at each and every table or figure for this. So instead, when you go to the questions, because after you skim, you go straight to those questions, you want to underline important information that you're searching for. Essentially, you are creating a guide as to what you need to answer these questions. So, for example, on this one, according to figure 2, which of the following minerals will most typically be found only in rocks of medium grade? So first of all, I know, where am I going? Unmute yourselves, shout it out. Where are we looking? I'm gonna pretend you all unmuted and said figure 2. All right, yes, you're looking at figure 2. And then what we're looking at is, let's say they give me dirt, water, and then minerals. I'm gonna just look at minerals right there. And then rocks of a medium grade, okay, I find that medium grade, and then I find my answer right there. All right. And then all the data is not going to be used. So this is where I put out my little rant about the ACT. The ACT is not non-for-profit. The ACT is making money on every single test you take. So the ACT wants you to have to take that test over and over and over again. And because they want you to take that test over and over and over again, they're going to give you things that will not be used. Case in point, figure 1. If you have ever done any ACT practice before and you've had this figure, you know this is not used ever. If you haven't, remember that it's not used. So again, when you're skimming, if you look at something and you're like, I have no clue how to interpret that, don't worry about it, forget about it, move on. The key is the questions. Just read enough to understand what's the basic topic and what your units of measure are. Don't spend too much time. And then finally, y'all, don't freak out. Case in point, this bad mamma jamma right here. The first time I saw that, I was like, I have no idea what to do with this. I might as well just quit now. How did I ever pass my ACT to get into college? But if you look at it, what you're going to realize is there's like 2 questions that actually use this information. And the questions that actually use this information, you don't need to know much except air versus water, air, water, and then you just need to be able to read the ranges. That's it. All right, so you need to be able to understand the correlation between intensity right here and frequency right here. That's it. All right, so steps I want you to take with each problem set we do. First things first, skim that data, look at it, see what's in there. Second, go to the questions. What exactly is that question asking for? What table or figure are you going to? And what are your options within that? A lot of times when you look at the answers, step 3, you can usually eliminate 2 or 3 right off the bat. And if you can do that, boom, you are ready to move on to the next question. Do you have any questions right now?
I don't have any right now.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
All right. Were y'all able to get the ACT test that we're using today downloaded? It looks like Ms. Heller put a link in the comments.
Is that on is it in our group me, Miss?
I
Isn't
don't
it?
think it is in the group. What I would do is I would highlight that, copy it,
It's the one
and
we
paste it into your
used
browser.
last time.
Can you put it in the chat?
It is.
It is in the chat.
Uh,
Bring up the chat. It's Emily.
mine's not working.
So if you go to
Yeah, mine's
here, I'll repost it.
Thank you.
Give me just a second. All right. Try that one right there that I just posted. If it's not working, let me know.
Yeah, it's document, and then you scroll down and the science part's right there. So
Yeah,
for me, it's working.
perfect. I don't know if you can see how much this is duplicating my screen. I don't think you can see what's on my screen, so
it's working for me now.
perfect. All right. Real quick, is it not working for anybody? All right, cool. Well, while you kind of get settled into that, I'm going to put up a quick example of one of the questions that I was showing, or a practice question that I was having y'all look at. So if you're not there and you don't have it uploaded yet, don't sweat it, it's okay. So just look at the question I popped on the screen. So according to figure 4.3, an organic compound will boil at a lower temperature if. Well, first of all, what figure do we go to?
4.3.
4.3.
Perfect, 4.3. And lucky for you, it's the only figure we have up here. Okay, so temperature in Celsius, this is part of that little bit of science that you need to know. All right, at what temperature does an organic compound boil? Well, get this, we don't even need to know that. Look, it's right up here. Boiling point for all these different ones, yeah? 31.6, 36.7, or 68.7, and 98.4. So what do we notice about those that have a lower boiling point? Which ones can you eliminate right away?
Octane.
Mm-hmm.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, it's right up here on the screen. According to figure 4.3, an organic compound will boil at a lower temperature if. Which of these answer choices can I eliminate right away? Well, do I see anything about atmospheric pressure?
No.
No.
So we can get rid of
That's
B
what I
right
was
away.
gonna say.
Get rid of B. Let's do that right now. Bye-bye, B. All right. Atmospheric and vapor pressure become unequal. Again, it's talking about atmospheric pressure. So I can get rid of that one, right?
Right. Yes.
Because again, still not talking about atmospheric pressure. Vapor pressure is greater than atmospheric pressure. Do I have atmospheric pressure on here?
No.
No. So what is my choice then?
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, vapor pressure increases. Cool. So again, all I needed to look at is over here, vapor pressure. I looked at temperature. Noted what figure it was. Did I need to know what any of these compounds were?
No.
No. This is just a case in point right here of the ACT giving you more information than you may need or understand how to interpret.
Right.
All right. So was everybody able to get their ACT downloaded?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So we're going to do, if you scroll down, we're going to go to passage 1. It's 1 through 6. So take a second, get a piece of scratch paper out. And while people are getting scratch paper out, and get something to write with, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
For our ACT, like, you know how we have the fee waivers that our counselor gives us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so will we have to contact our counselor if we wanted to take the ACT in June?
Yes.
Okay.
Remember though, Ms. Heller said that if you attend a certain amount of these CAP&GOWN meetings, you're going to be able to get a fee waiver from CAP&GOWN as well. But if you're a junior, let's see, you'll probably want to contact either Miss West Cannon or Miss Sutton.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. If you don't go to Jemison, I don't know who you contact. But chances are, if you contact anybody at your school, even one of your teachers, they'll be able to tell you. Good question. Any other questions?
The science is the one section that I need to raise to get the ACT that I want. And
Okay.
one of my big problems is time management. I was wondering if you had any tips.
Absolutely. All right. So data representation, what we're practicing tonight, is actually one of the easiest sections to raise your score on, because this is simply practice. You practice identifying the variables, practice identifying the relationship between the variables, and then quickly answering the questions. A lot of people tend to get bogged down if they don't know something right away. And they tend to invest way more time looking and trying to understand. What I recommend is that within each section or within each passage, you go through and you answer the easy questions first. There's a lot that are just look at this figure, look at this table, and identify some information. Answer those first. If you find yourself spending more than a minute on a question, eliminate what you can, give it your best guess, and move on. But don't move on to another section or don't move on to another passage until you've finished that passage, because essentially your brain is shifting gears. Second piece of advice I have is to figure out which of the 3 problem types you're really, really good at or you really like and start with those. Nothing says you have to go in order on the ACT. Nothing at all. And then, I mean, this is just a general one, never leave anything blank. If you leave an answer blank, it's like giving the ACT free money. And the ACT already has plenty of money. Don't give them free money. They don't deserve your free money. Did any of that help you?
Yes, thank you.
Happy to. Last thing I'll say about ACT Science. ACT Science is a lot like reading. They're going to give you almost all of the answers within the data. Just like with reading, they give you all of the answers within the passage. So all you have to do is you have to practice, practice, practice. And if you grind, you will get better. And I always tell my kids, practice like you play. So this is the last section on the ACT. Your brain is tired. You are hungry. You are ready to go home and forget standardized testing ever happened. Practice this at the end of the school day when you are tired, when you are hungry. That's the best time to practice it. All right. Any other questions? Y'all are awesome. Great questions. Okay, so I've got a 5-minute timer up here. We are going to start with passage 1. So passage 1, It's talking about, excuse me, all. I'm so sorry. My allergies are flaring up. So passage 1, as soon as I skim down to it, and it's still going. It's still going. All right, so passage 1, we've got a bunch of tables. We've got a bunch of graphs. Not a problem. First thing we're gonna do with it is what? Anybody?
What was the question?
What's the first thing you're gonna do on passage 1?
Skim.
Yes. What are you looking for when you skim?
I'm looking for
Italicized words, I guess.
Look at what the, go ahead.
what you look for? You looking for like little keywords. That's the question to ask.
Good. You want to look at your X and Y axes because those are your variables. Look at the key so you know what the black stands for and what the gray stands for. You want to look at what table 1 and table 2 are measuring, and then you want to jump into those questions. So, any questions before we jump?
No questions here.
Okay. Everybody have their paper and their pen or pencil ready to go. Numbered 1 through 6.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Superstars. Y'all are so awesome. All right. On your mark, get set, go. And there it goes. Whoa. That's pretty intense. All right. So how did we do on this?
What happened to our 1 minute warning?
That's my bad, y'all. That is totally my bad. I got into doing this and I didn't give you your 1 minute warning. I am a bad weller. I apologize. All right. So despite not having a 1 minute warning, how did we do?
Eh.
Yeah, I only have like 10 seconds left when I put the last answer.
Okay, so 10 seconds left when you put the last answer. Okay. Looks like we lost somebody in the middle of all of that. I hope they come back. All right, let's go through the questions and see how we did. If you notice, there were some that are just like, go here and tell me about what you see. And there are others that make you take the idea and take it like one step further in the scientific process. So you're having to form a new hypothesis from the given data.
6 was like that.
Yes, exactly. 6 and 4, I noticed, were like that. So, all right. So number 1, if an E. coli level over 400 colonies formed per 100 milliliters of water is unsafe for swimming, on which of the following collection days and at which site would it have been unsafe to swim? So with this one, this is where knowing your X and Y axes will save you. So first of all, which figure did you look at? Or which table did you look at for this?
For question 1.
Yes.
I looked at the figure 1.
Figure 1?
Yeah, I looked at a figure.
Okay.
And then I looked at figure 2.
All right.
I looked at
Yeah.
the water flow.
Completely logical. So look at figure 1 and figure 2. You're going to notice something is pretty similar between the two. Okay, they're both talking about site 1 and site 2. But what specifically are we looking for in this question?
The days, coli level.
We definitely want to know those days. What else do we want to know?
The E. coli level.
Yeah, the E. coli levels. Perfect. So if we're looking for E. coli levels, which figure tells me about that? Figure 1 or figure 2?
Figure 1.
Figure 1. Perfect. All right. So if I look at figure 1, first of all, which site definitely has that level over 400 or over 100?
Site 1.
Yeah. Site 1 is kind of blowing it out of the water. Okay. So what we can do is we can eliminate site 2. All right. Now, is it day 1 or day 30 there?
Day 30.
Yeah, day 30 with that 708 count. Ooh, that's high. That's kind of creepy high. All right. So day 30 is our winner there. All right. So correct answer for number 1 is
Yay.
yay.
Did pretty good.
You said it was B?
I said B as in Bravo.
Okay.
Put these in the chat real quick.
All right. Was number 1?
Yeah, number 1 is B. Hey guys, I'm going to go ahead and mute you all again, but unmute yourself if you have a question or want to chime in. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So let me get to the little chat screen. There we go. All right. So number 2. Based on figures 1 and 2, consider the average water flow and the average E. coli level for site 1 and site 2 over the collection period. So first of all, unmute yourselves. What am I looking at?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
On number 2, where am I looking at?
Both of the figures.
Yes, both
Figure-
of the figures, tables don't exist. All right. Consider the average water flow and the average E. coli level for site 1 and site 2 over the collection period. Which site had the higher average water flow and which site had the higher average E. coli level? So if we go back up there, this is where knowing that key is going to come in handy, because all I have to do is look for the biggest bar on each. And the correct answer is what? What y'all put for number 2?
I got C.
For number 2?
F.
I put F.
F.
Yeah, F.
F is
Oh,
correct.
sorry, not C. I meant F.
That's okay. That's
Because
okay.
I realized that's like I was on the other question. Because number 2 doesn't even have C. It has H, E, J.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yes, I was looking at another question.
You know what? It happens that way. All right,
But
number 3.
I did have a question on that one.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, so figure 2, and I was trying to look at the water flow, and it said that had the highest water flow, but it was saying like water quality for table 1, and I wasn't quite sure like how to compare it with figure 2.
Okay, so for this one right here, what we're looking at is we are looking at 2 different aspects. We're looking at E. coli level, which is measured in figure 1. And then we're looking at water flow, which is measured in figure 2. So when I scroll up and I look at figure 1 and figure 2, what I'm looking for is I'm looking to see which of those figures are simply the highest. And I find out that it's site 1 on each of them because it's the biggest black bar on there.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Okay, I was looking at the figure 1, and I was trying to compare it to table 1, so that's where I got kind of confused. Okay, I see that.
That's okay. It's better to get confused here and learn from it. So
Yeah.
ideally, when you're taking the ACT, you're able to write all over that test. So when you get to different figures on them, you want to underline that figure 1 and figure 2, because remember, by this time, your brain is done, sir, done. Your brain says, I quit and I want a chicken sandwich and a nap. At least that's what mine says when I do this. All right.
Okay.
All right. So according to table 1, we're on number 3, by the way. According to table 1, what is the relationship between water quality and biotic index? Okay, so first of all, where am I looking?
Table 1.
Oh, yes, you are so smart. All right, so if I look at table 1, it's, y'all, I told you it'd be all about relationships. So what do you notice? The higher the water quality rating, what is the B1 rating or the BI rating?
It's
If
going
actually, it's
I got A.
A is correct. As water quality
Yay.
improves, so does the BI rating.
Nope.
Any questions on that one?
No, I don't have any.
Y'all are killing it. All right, number 4 is, as water quality improves, the number of stonefly larvae, a type of, we don't care, increases. Students hypothesize that the more stonefly larvae would be found at site 1 than site 2. Are the data represented in table 2 consistent with this hypothesis? So first of all, where am I looking?
site
Table 2.
Boom, there it is. I'm looking at table 2. So if I look at table 2, I notice who has the higher BI rating, site 1 or site 2?
site 1.
Site
Site
1.
All right. So And then if I forget what that BI rating means, I can look at table 1 and I see that, 6.3 is way better than 2.5 because 2.5 is fair and 6.3 is like way beyond excellent. So first things first, eliminate your choices. So they think there's going to be more larvae at site 1 than site 2. Do we agree with that? I do. So H and J are gone. Get rid of them. So now you're at a 50-50 shot. You're at F and G. All right? And I have to look at the reasons why now. All right? So let's see. F says yes, based on B1 or BI, site 1 had a water quality rating of good and site 2 had a water quality rating of poor. Wait a second. We just looked at that table 1. Is that true? No.
A is not true.
Yeah, F, get rid
I mean,
of
F,
it.
yeah,
Good,
that
you're
one.
good.
I can't get mixing those up.
All right. So then I look at G, just to be 100. All right. Yes, based upon B1, site 1 had a water quality rating of excellent and site 2 had a water quality rating of fair. Is that true?
Yes.
Sure is. All right. Number 4 is G. Are we getting the vibe of this?
Yes. Like, this is like the best, like, I've probably understood science so far this year, like for ACT, because when I was first like starting to do the science ACT practice, it was kind of difficult to like differ between each like graph and stuff, but it's getting easier now that we keep like doing it and having the sessions. It's getting a lot easier.
Hey, I call that a victory right there. Wi-Fi, hi-fi.
High five! Yay!
We meet on Mondays and Wednesdays, right?
Yes, we meet on Mondays and Wednesdays. Wednesdays, it's from 4:30 to 6. Mondays, it's 6:30 to 8.
Okay.
So speaking of that, I'm going to keep us rolling real quick so we can get through grading this. And hopefully we can do 2 more practice sessions before I let you go for the night. Okie dokie, artichokes? All right.
Yeah.
Number 5. Number 5, which set of data best supports the claim that site 1 has a lower water quality than site 2? All right, what are 2 that I can get rid of right away on this? Because it's asking you to compare all 4 graphs.
Table 2.
Table 2, get rid of it. Perfect. And then if we get rid of table 2, what else should we get rid of? What kind of goes with table 2?
Table 1.
Table 1. Good job. So I've eliminated C and D right there. So now we're left to A and we're left to B. Y'all, what makes water gross? Y'all know what E.
Pollution?
coli is?
Oh, yes.
Bacteria.
It's a bacteria.
Yeah, it's often found in poop. All right. So if we look at figure 1, it's talking about how much poop is in the water, aka E. coli. And 2 is just talking about how much water there is. So which would make it grosser? The poo water or how much water there is?
The E. coli.
Yes. So correct answer to 5 is A, as in you will ace the ACT and they will not take your money anymore. All right, so number 6, suppose large amounts of fertilizer from adjacent fields begin to enter the river at site 1. The BI of this site will most likely change in which of the following ways? Okay, fertilizer, good for water or bad for water?
Bad.
Bad. Totes my goats. It is super bad. So is that going to increase the BI level? Is it going to make the water super quality super awesome? Or is it going to make the water quality garbage?
Decrease. So garbage.
Exactly. So get rid of F and G. So we're left with H and J. Which one of it? Which one is it?
J.
J, as in you are currently jamming. Perfect. All right. So look at how you did on this and look at if you understand your mistakes. Do I have anybody that wants to shout themselves out for a perfect score?
I did.
Hey, snaps. Anybody else?
I missed one. I missed 5.
You missed number 5? That's
Mhm.
okay. Do you understand why you missed 5?
Yes.
Good. As long as you understand why you missed them, then you don't have to make that mistake again.
Yeah. I kind of missed. I kind of looked at like something else than what I kind of skipped over.
Sure.
So I definitely see why I got it, especially after we went over it.
Gotcha. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and let's do passage 2. So we're going to look at passage 2. All right. So number your paper from 7 to 12. 7 to 12. Okay, I'm going to mute everybody again. Any questions before we get going?
No.
Nope.
All right. Just remember, you are all smart, you are all beautiful, and you are awesome. So I'm going to put 5 minutes back on the clock. On your mark, get set, and go. All right, it's your 1 minute warning. 1 minute left. All right, time is up. Everybody take a big breath. Who thought that one was harder than the last one?
It most definitely was.
Yeah, probably slightly.
I was like fully chemistry Batman. Not cool. All right, so let's go ahead and go through this one. First of all, who is ready for 7?
It took me a while to like reread. I had to read it like 3 times just to like comprehend it a little bit.
That's understandable. So what they're wanting you to do is they're essentially wanting you to graph a relationship. So this is where we have either that direct, indirect, or no relationship on it. And what do we notice? As days increase, what happens to the number of H2 produced? What do we notice in each and every one of them? So I'm going to looking at table 1. What happens as the days increase? What happens to the amount of hydrogen produced, dihydrogen?
It increases.
It increases. Does it ever slow down?
No.
No. In fact, it speeds up.
Yeah.
So which of these graphs, A, B, C, or D, shows consistently increasing?
I chose B.
B is absolutely correct. So for number 7, B is correct. Let me get my chart up here. All right, so for 7, we have B. All right, and that's about just understanding how to graph a relationship. If that's something you struggle with, feel free to shoot me a message in the chat and just be like, yo, Weller, help me with this. And I'll throw in a whiteboard and I can help you. This is part of what I teach with economics. So it makes me happy. All right. Number 8, based on table 1. First of all, where am I looking automatically?
Table 1.
Table 1, beautiful. All right, based on table 1, if the volume of dihydrogen produced day 10 from the AWP1 sample had been measured, it would most likely have been. Okay, so if I look at table 1 and I look at day 8, what amount was produced?
133.
Yep. So we can automatically eliminate F because we know it's not decreasing. It's set up a pattern. And whenever these questions set up a pattern for you, you want to just assume that pattern keeps going and that nothing crazy happens. So if we look at it, it increases by about 50 per time, 30 to 50 per time. So we know it's not going to do a huge jump. We can also get rid of J. So we're left with G and H. What do y'all think?
I think it's G.
I think it's G. Yeah, G.
G is absolutely correct. All right, so number 9, according to table 1, where am I looking?
Table 1.
Perfect. All right, so I look at table 1, what volume of dihydrogen was produced by AWP1 from the time that the volume was measured on day 6 until the volume was measured on day 8. All right, y'all, this is just subtraction.
Yeah.
Day 8 minus day 6,
Mhm.
and what do you get?
A 52 milliliters.
Perfect. When I was doing that, I just stopped when I was like, oh, wait, 3 minus 1 is 2.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what I did. I did the
Hey.
exact same thing because I was like, if this is like the only answer, like I don't need to work out the entire problem. I could just find it like that.
Perfect. Save your time. Your
Yeah,
time.
that saved like a lot of time.
All right, now, y'all, I'm not going to lie. Number 10, I did not like. Who liked number 10? Anybody?
I hated
No.
numbers.
Yeah, I was kind of confused by that one.
Same. Okay. Number 10 is from the devil, but I'm going to do it anyway. All right. And the trials represented in table 1 and figure 1. So automatically we think we're going where?
Table 1 and figure 1.
Right, right. And that's where I thought we were going too. By measuring the volume of dihydrogen, the experimenters were able to monitor the rate at which. So it's talking about what's being converted to what. And here's the kicker, y'all. Remember when I told you the ACT wants to make money off of you?
Yes.
This is one of those times because the answer is not in table 1. The answer is not in figure 1. The answer is actually in the equation at the top.
Really?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I see that now.
So this took me back a little bit to high school. Whenever you see an equation, it's talking about going from one thing to another. All right? It's talking about if you combine these two, the arrow that points is like what will happen. So based upon knowing that, the correct answer is
H.
H
H.
is it. Good job, good job.
I have
All
to
right.
go back.
On that one.
So number 11. Y'all have to know a little bit of science for number 11. You have to understand how acids and bases deal with pH.
Okay.
So this is one of those things where if you're like, you know what, I don't remember, you just give it your best guess. All right. What you can do is you can look and see what happens to the DMEA, which we would see in figure 1. You can look in there. And if you notice oh, I lied. DMEA was in the paragraph right above table 1. And it talks about that. And correct answer on this one is D, as in, dang, it's a base because it increases pH. So just remember, anything that increases pH is a base. Anything that lowers pH is usually an acid. Make sense?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if you want to know the why on that, tune in next week. Mr. Reese should be there, or week after, I don't remember, but he teaches science. I don't. I just pretend to know things. All right, and number 12, considering the volume of H2 produced by day 2 from the AWP3 sample. So I know I automatically know I'm gonna go look at table 1 for that. That contain no corrosion inhibitor. Based upon table 1 and figure 1, the AWP3 sample containing EDTA produced approximately the same volume of H2 by which of the following days? What did we get on that one?
J.
No joke. Jay is right. Good job.
Can you explain that one?
Yep.
I got H for that one.
You got H for that one? All right.
Yeah.
Who said they got J for that one?
Amaya.
Amaya? Amaya, do you want to explain it?
Sure.
Go, Amaya.
So it's like it was saying consider the volume of H2 produced by day 2 for AW3 sample, and that's in table 1. And AW3 pre day 2 is 121, and then it's talking about EDTAs producing the same thing. So you're looking for when EDTA is at 121 on figure 1. And on day 7, it's not quite there, but on day 10, it's at like around 121.
Great.
Okay. I see that.
Nice job.
Yeah, we have to really. I gotta really zoom in on that one. When I zoomed in, I can see that.
Yeah, it's because the EDTA looked a lot like the cup Farron to me.
Yeah.
So I got that one wrong, y'all. Thank goodness I've got the answers here, but I got that one wrong. So
If I would have zoomed in, I could have saw it better because like after like the big numbers, they have like little marks like in between. I guess that shows like 20, 40, 60, 80. So I see that. Yeah.
awesome. Cool. Do we have energy to do one more? Can we do one
Let's
more?
go for it.
I'm fine with one more.
Yeah, it's
me
okay.
too.
Yes. Drink your last cup of coffee and go to passage 6, which is number 30. It's questions 34 through 40. In case your Roman numeral game is not on point, it is the VI. Because sometimes I forget my Roman numerals too.
It's
And this one,
question
but
30.
I'm gonna be real with you. This one is technically, it's a hybrid of like experiment and data representation. So it's a good segue into what Mr. Reese is going to teach you, because he's going to go through and do experiments with you. Okay?
Okay.
So he'll be doing like the research based ones. All right. So if you notice on this one, we have one extra question. So it's numbers 34 through 40. You ready for this challenge?
Yeah.
I guess as ready as we'll be right now.
Oh, heck yes. If your brain is tired, you are in the right place. You are in the right mindset. You're almost done. Let's get this party started. 5 minutes.
What
on the
numbers are we
clock.
doing?
We're doing
30.
numbers 34 through 40.
Okay.
Y'all are awesome. Get ready. Get set. Go. All right, you've got about 1 minute left. Woo! All right. So because we only have about 4 minutes left on our session today, I'm going to just go through and I'm going to read and type the answers for you. If you have a question on one, feel free to ask though. All right. So first thing I wanted to point out to y'all is essentially this is them running an experiment 3 different times. So when you approach these, you're going to have to skim a little bit into the passage, but mainly you want to notice what's different between each. Understood?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Number 34 is J. Number 35 is C. Number 36 is G. Number 37 is A. Number 38 is J. Number 39 is D. And number 40 is J. All right. What questions do y'all have?
I have a question for 34.
Okay, Jakisha, what's up?
Okay, so it said one plant produced no fruit and had a height of 21 centimeters. And it says which of the following most likely describes the plant. But I went with H, and you said the answer was J, and I don't really see. Oh well, okay. Actually, I think I see what it is now.
Okay. In case,
Yeah.
what made you correct yourself and what did you see that you noticed?
I looked at both of the graphs, and it shows like even though like table 3 is the only one that has the 2 lines that have no fruit produced, and that was line 3 and line 4 in table 3. And I think if it was like one more line, then it would probably be in the 20s, since line 4 is 36, and that line 3 is 34, and that's the closest to 21. So I see that now.
Good job. Good.
Yes.
Anybody else? All right. Well, y'all have been fabulous, and I appreciate your attention tonight. You've asked really good questions, and I've had great participation. I can't thank you enough. So give yourself a giant high five, or make someone that you are in the house with, who you are allowed to get within 6 feet of, give them a high five. Say, I deserve this, and make them high five you. All right. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. And y'all need anything else?
No, thank you.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So 39, it said that the slope of the line would be positive. And I think that I may have read the graphs wrong, but could you explain that one?
Sure, absolutely. So 39, it's saying that the line, so suppose the data for all the plants were plotted on a graph with height on the x-axis. So x-axis is your horizontal axis.
Yes.
And mass without the fruit on the y-axis. So suppose all the best fit line for these was determined. So what we're looking at is when you do a line of best fit, you would in theory plot all the line, but you're looking for a basic trend with all the lines. So if you notice, as mass increases, most of the time, what happens to height? The greater the mass, the greater the height.
As mass increases?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As mass increases, so does height. So, and I mean, we have a few that we can be like, oh, Miss Weller, there's a yeah, but, because if you look at, for example, the height on all of the ones in table 1 have the same mass. Not an issue.
Yes.
But if you look at all of the others, they tend to follow this trend where the height and the mass have a positive relationship or a direct relationship. So when a line has a positive slope, it means that it goes upwards. So, that's going to start going off again. Stop it.
So you basically do least to greatest?
So basically, here we go. I got my annotate tool. So right here, this is a line with a positive slope. As one goes up, so does the other. Likewise, this is a line with a negative slope right here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if I wanted one, sorry, I'm working on 2 computers right now so that I can show you on this
It's all good.
I appreciate your patience. So I've got height down here. I'm going to just put H for height. And then I've got mass right here. For the most part, as height increases, so does mass. So
Okay.
if I were to plot all those lines, I'd have a few that would be around 1.2, like right here. But then a lot of the others would go up. And so that's why it says the slope of the line would be positive.
Okay, I see that.
Cool. Side note, right here, if you have a line like this, that means the line has no slope. So that's what A would look like. And then right here, that is what the slope of the line at 0 would look like. So positive slope, negative slope, 0, no slope. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah, I get both of those. Thank you.
Hey, happy to. All right, y'all. I'm gonna call it a night. Y'all have been great and keep on being awesome. Feel free to reach out if y'all need anything at all. I'll put my contact info real quick in the chat. More chat. Here we go. There you go.
Thank you.
You are most welcome. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.